You can say anything you want now, right, Brazil? Because unless people have ad block, they can't hear you. So.
Fuck yeah.
Because of the pre-roll.
Adblock is the wrong software to use.
Yeah,
You
what's
should
the right
use
software?
uBlock Origin.
You block Origin.
You
Yeah,
block.
because AdBlock Plus, they actively pay websites to like, or they let websites pay them. There's an exchange of money. I'm too tired to reason through this. Forgive me. Somewhere along the lines, there's an exchange of money, and I don't like that because it's really fucking shady. Because you have a piece of software that's supposed to allow convenience for you on the internet and let you not be annoyed by bullshit, and then you have like the company making that software accepting money in exchange for certain websites to be able to filter through it. So AdBlock Plus is complete ass, and you shouldn't use it.
I look like a drug dealer now with my hat on.
Good, me too.
Highs and inks.
I don't know if AdBlock doesn't work on YouPorn or not because I use better websites than that. If I'm gonna fucking watch porn, I'm not gonna watch porn in 240p. Like, come on, seriously.
It's like those old. It's like that old time, the old time porn that like slowly
Yeah.
downloads like a bit a second or something.
Like a fucking PowerPoint presentation.
Okay. That's going to be
This is unrelated. Man,
big use for virtual reality, am I right?
I could go on about how like there are people who will never have the experience of like having friends with perverted dads and like raiding their Playboy collection in their closets, because that stuff like doesn't exist with the internet anymore. Like people growing, like kids growing up now, like they don't have that, and that was like, oh my god. Anyways, now we're into like uncharted territory, like right off the bat. So let's talk about Guild Wars 2.
Yeah. I mean,
This is where you should. This is where you should start when we upload to YouTube. When you upload to YouTube, just start right here.
yeah. Wee. Okay.
We'll do the thing. We'll do the. There's your intro. That's how it goes.
Just like that.
Perfect. Perfect.
All right.
When did it start? It started.
No,
2
it's already
minutes and
over.
40
Don't worry.
seconds. Yep, that's it. Thanks for watching, guys. We're done. We're done here. Anyway, Guild Wars 2. So
Yeah.
it's 2016 now. That's
Yeah, it is.
that's something. Will it be a new year, new Guild Wars 2? Let's find out. But I guess the title of the stream says that we have to talk about the future, so I suppose we should probably do that. And so, Brazil, what are your expectations for 2016? Guild Wars 2016.
I don't have any.
Oh.
Apparently, Colin Johansson said whether he was supposed to or not, or whether it slipped or whatever context it was, that they're working on a new expansion, or they're going to be working on a new expansion in 2016. And I saw that, and I thought, that had to have been a slip. Like, that doesn't sound something that they would say. Because literally every time they ever answer a question regarding when something is happening, they always just say soon. I was
It's on the
like,
table.
okay, yeah, exactly. And so that was a little weird to me seeing that. And I don't know. I think a lot of people are expecting Super Adventure Box to come back. And there's been some data mining and stuff and some new models found, and I don't know. There was a while back, there was a guy who like made a free-to-play account during one of the like free-to-play weekends or whatever, and he went into Super Adventure Box and he like logged out and didn't play the game for like months. And he logged back in, and he was still in Super Adventure Box, and he still had the, like, this is a trial account, like, buy the game to upgrade or whatever, like the old stuff. So, like, I guess that stuff still exists in some reality. I don't really know, but maybe that's just more reason to get excited about that. I'm not really sure. That was something, but... yeah, I don't know. I guess there's going to be a new expansion. People want Super Adventure Box to come back. I kind of like it. It was fun. I like Tribulation Mode. Uh, New raid wings or finishing this one. That's something that I would like to happen, I guess.
If they are
Yeah.
working on a new expansion, that's quite troubling, actually, don't you think? I mean, that means I don't know how many raids they're planning on releasing, but they got to get a move on if they want to get a few in before they make another expansion, right? I mean,
Yeah, I would think, unless their idea is like add it with the living story or something. Like, I don't know how fast they're gonna do the expansion. Like, fucking Heart of Thorns took, I don't know how long. I don't know how long they actually spent on it. So
Right. I mean, we're not going to see a new expansion until maybe the end of 2017. So you're thinking another year from now. So they have to start working now on an expansion for next year. I mean, that's more or less how WoW does it. We have Legion coming out. Well, they've been working on Legion for at least a year before now. It's just that they don't usually announce it so soon. It is unusual that ArenaNet would say, yeah, by the way, in the background, we're working on a new expansion. I really wouldn't expect to hear too much about that expansion until the end of the year, if not next year. And then this year will all be about iteration and polish. So
exactly.
we'll see the UI and crap change again. We're going to see a couple of balance patches, which will be nice. We're going to see more PvP seasons that will be different and fixed. Hopefully that should be nice. We know they've been working on large changes to World vs. World, which it desperately needs. Hopefully we'll see that sometime this year. We should see that sometime this year, even though Colin said there's still quite a bit of World vs. World work to be done. So
yeah, there is.
I wouldn't expect to see that anytime soon, but they have been working on something big for World vs. World. And we're not talking about a new map. We're talking about a restructuring on the way World vs. World actually works.
Yeah.
But hopefully changes to the map as well, because the map's flow, as beautiful as the map is, the map's flow seems to be a big problem. Yeah, big problem.
Oh, is it triggering you because it doesn't fit into the... Yeah. You said at another point.
Just a little bit.
Is that
makes me a little mad.
Is that the most important thing in your opinion? Would World v World be repaired if the map actually fit in with the background?
Yes. I am aware of groups of people who actually have fun in World versus World on a fairly frequent basis. Granted, that's obviously not everyone, but there are people that still enjoy it and like do shit and have fun. I don't know. I've been to World versus World like probably less than 10 times just because it's of no relevance to me. But the fucking like map picture, I have some experience with graphic design and graphics, and I still can't get over how the fucking like Borderlands map is literally the old like alpine snowy mountains with 3 like desert like rectangles just stuck on top of it. Like I saw that and I literally like wanted to pull out my eyelashes. Like what the fuck? What is that? Like why would you do that? Like you spent some amount of time designing a new map. Just like fucking at the very least take some of the like content aware repair tools, just open up Photoshop and just like make little circles and drag them around and just like fucking create like some sort of textured background or like what fuck, holy shit. I don't even like a novice could have made something in less than an hour. So I don't even have an answer to why that happened.
Have we finally found something that you actually care about?
Probably.
Has it finally happened?
Yeah.
This is amazing. This is a glorious episode of Tea Time. That means no one's going to be triggered about you not caring anymore.
Yeah, I know. People already have something that I care about, I guess.
It's there. I can see it now. Brazil only cares about World versus World.
Bad graphic design. Like I'm not gonna claim that I'm like even skilled at graphic design or anything. It's just something I like to fuck around with. But like stuff that's just so blatantly lazy and bad, just it makes me explode. I hate it. But whatever. I can't. I'm in literally no position to do anything about it other than talk about how stupid it is. So I can't fix it.
My issue with World vs. World is that when the game first launched, I played a lot of World vs. World. I spent a lot of time there. But that, the ranking system and, fighting against particular servers gets old and boring rather quickly. And there really hasn't been, if you play in whatever tier you play in, at least at the top tiers, I've been on Blackgate for a long time. So for years, it really hasn't changed too much. That third place server seems to change a little bit, and every once in a blue moon, we got knocked down to like tier 2 for a week or something. But the matches are basically the same week in and week out. And so what are you really fighting for? Like, you're not there's no meaning. As like Brazil would say, who cares?
Yeah.
Really, who cares about the match every single week? So unfortunately, my interest in World vs. World basically died out pretty quickly within the first couple of months of the game. And then the only thing that resparks it is World vs. World seasons, when there's a season to play, when there's new achievements to get, when there's a carrot on the stick to chase after, and those fights and winning each week has some sort of meaning. Unfortunately, we're not going to get another season until they fix or change a lot of things with how the mechanics of World vs. World actually work. So whenever that actually happens, then we'll get a new season. And then I think a lot more people will actually care about the weekly matches as they happen. Because as it stands right now, there's no... Who cares? Who cares? Who cares who wins every week? What does it really do for you? You get bragging rights every single week? Like, it doesn't... Yay, we beat Jade Quarry again, or Jade Quarry beat Blackgate again, or whoever won that week. Like, who cares? It doesn't really have any meaning. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah, I totally get that. Whereas, people... World versus World seems like one of those things where it's literally, designed to be about bragging rights and rewards. Whereas, fucking, dungeons and fractals and shit. There are people that cared about, bragging rights and whatever for that because they wanted to speed run and have fun. And so they, made that little community, and it kind of existed. And then there were, tournaments and stuff. And then, there was talk about leaderboards and whatever for those, which never existed and are probably never going to exist. And then, raids came out. And then, with raids, there were no, world first achievements. There were no, official... I don't have any opposition to that at all. Even if it's literally, a 0 AP thing.
yeah, make it 0 AP so that people can't complain about,
Yeah.
oh my God, they got 100 AP for being world first, and have it give a title.
Yeah.
I mean, titles really don't mean a whole lot in the game as it stands,
Yeah.
but give them a title. You know what I mean?
Mm.
And that way it has a little bit of meaning to somebody. 90% of the player base still isn't going to care. You know what I mean? And if it has 0 AP, it doesn't impact that these people are going to be a leg up on you or something like that. But I think it's cool. And it actually will determine who is world first, who isn't world first. The problem is that ArenaNet would somehow have to flag those accounts that have testing access to those raids. So previously it would have been the D&T group that cleared it. They would have had to stop them from having that title.
Yeah.
Now it's EG and it's still ATT who does things very differently. I guess apparently all the people who had experience, they split up and they don't raid together or something. I don't know exactly how that works for them, but
That's interesting.
I would imagine that the people who are testing in EG when it goes live, they're obviously going to have a lot of experience with the raid, and so they'll clear it very quickly. So they just, if they're going to put a world first achievement in there or something like that to flag those people, they just need to flag those accounts out somehow. And I don't know how doable that is or isn't. That might be difficult for ArenaNet to flag those accounts out. I don't know, but I feel like there's a way they could do it, and I think it would actually add a bit of excitement or a bit of importance to some people. I realize some people are never going to care about that, but some people will. And it'll say, look, we actually did do world first, rather than follow Reddit and say, okay, where's the progress? Who's doing what? Who's actually cleared it and who hasn't,
Yeah.
And I actually like that kind of stuff. I actually like to see who cleared it first, or these are the guilds that cleared it in the first month or something like that. By now, a number of guilds have cleared it. And so, by the time I get my Sabbath, a kill really won't mean a whole lot. So, and that's fine. I'm not really on that, that higher cutting edge, but it's cool to know who actually cleared it first.
Sure. And
Because in a year, people won't remember who did what.
They could even extend it to. They can have different tiers. They could have world first, top 10, then top 100. I mean, there's kind of a similar thing with the PvP, isn't there? If you're the top 1,000 teams, top 250 teams, top 100 teams, top 10, and top 1, I think, if I recall correctly, you could have something similar to that for each raid wing. You have the platinum players and the gold teams and the silver teams and the bronze teams and the copper teams, because world first, that's one hell of a thing to shoot for. But say if you're not quite there yet, you're a seriously hardcore guild, but you're not quite on the same level as the true tryhards yet. You're trying to get there, then maybe an incentive also a little bit lower down. You can we did it, guys. We beat the raid way faster than everyone else.
Well, we're still waiting on guild hall statues for the raid, right? That hasn't.
Yeah, I think so. It's weird because out of every single game mode that exists, like World versus World is like a hyper ego competition. That's literally like what it's designed to be. Like it's literally like my server is better than yours. Fuck off.
Right.
And it's like tiered by like which servers are the best. In PvP, you get a little like thing next to your name now, like a diamond or a sapphire or whatever. Has a number inside of it, and it shows how good you are or how skillfully you can exploit the system, one of the two things. But it's something. Like for raiding, you have a title that you can get with doing everything without dying. I mean, like fractals, you have a legendary back piece. I guess you can do that in PvP too. But like World versus World literally seems to me like it's the most. It should be the most competitive game mode, and there's just literally nothing for it. Like it's just they expect people to treat it like dungeons, where it's just like, oh, you just do it because you like it, and that works. That works whenever it's like 5 people who are just pugging together, or like a guild of like 5 people that's having fun. But when you're trying to fucking like do Zerg shit with like 50 people or whatever, like I don't understand. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. It doesn't make sense why that's like not the most like highly focused area for like them trying to make shit competitive. I don't get it. Like, even if it was like a fucking weekly title that you could like gain and lose. Like if you win this week, like you get something and you can put it on. So like everybody fucking sees how cool you are. Especially since it's like mega servers and stuff now and everyone's just mixed together. Like that'd be cool. You see somebody that says that they have a title, literally says like, I'm the best. Or I don't know, whatever.
That's what they call the title then, right? I'm the best.
Well, and they even tried to instill this a little bit by when you win a season, you got like a gold Dolyak stomper that you could just drop and when you've seen somebody drop a gold on you, you know that they were part of a server that came in first or whatever, right? How much meaning that actually has or not, I guess is debatable, but
sure.
It was something to show that you came in first, at least in one season. Now, what would be nice is if that actually changed every season, but then you're talking about a ton of work and resources that they just don't have, unfortunately.
Yeah. I feel like the pressure they put on World versus World was like, maybe this is a completely unfair characterization, I don't know, but like, I think they really, like after the game launched, they just went like super hard on esports and PvP. And like that literally didn't start happening until like now,
right?
Where it like finally like came to fruition. And like World versus World is just this like that was one of the things that got me interested in Guild Wars 2. like before I started playing it, because I was like, this sounds fucking cool as shit. And like I came in and I played it for a while. Like most of my World vs. World experience was like when I first started playing the game. I thought it was cool, and after I did it for like a couple hours, for like a couple days, I was like, there's literally no point to this. Like you just run in a circle. And I just quit doing it. And like I don't really know how people I don't know how people do it consistently if they're not just trolling, because I guess the people who I'm aware of that do it, they just go in and troll people. And like that kind of stuff's fun for a while, like it's gimmick, whatever.
I mean, so there's a couple of things. World vs. World has kind of been unsupported since release,
Yeah.
or very little support has gone into World vs. World. It's unfortunate because there's a sizable, or at least there used to be a sizable player base that's all they did was World vs. World, and a lot of that is World vs. World. When I was in like a World vs. World guild, it was just about getting on TeamSpeak every night with your guild mates and shooting the shit and goofing on each other and whatever, let the just kind of have fun and hang out.
Yeah.
And you sort of get that, or at least I sort of get that now while I'm doing raids, in a much smaller perspective. There's only 10 of us, but we're goofing on each other, calling each other out, and telling each other how terrible we are every single pool of a boss or whatever. And World vs. World, when I did do it, was a lot like that. It was a much larger group of people, 50 people on a TeamSpeak, or 30, or however many it was. You were running around and you were playing, but you were also goofing on one another and just hanging out and whatever, So it was a big social aspect in that way. For me, anyway. That was my experience.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. And that's that's fine, but again, I mean,
you need support to go with that.
There's
the word structure isn't there. PPT has been a problem since forever. The list goes on and on and on, right? So
there is a certain level of World versus World is going to be this amazing game mode, and they put it in the game and they just left it there to just kind of to simmer. And then
yeah, I mean they've tried a couple of times, like let's change this or let's change this.
The Golem Rush or whatever horse shit. Whoa, that was fun. You couldn't tell who was hacking and who wasn't hacking.
Yeah.
And it's been plagued by problems with hackers and
exactly
all kinds of things. They used to be orbs, and the orbs were so easy to hack and unbalance the match that they had to cut them out. And it's been a shame because I do love the concept of World vs. World. And I used to have a ton of fun playing World vs. World, but a variety of reasons, lack of support for World vs. World, lack of rewards for those players as well has always been an issue. Continues to be an issue.
What if they added something like a pip system? So if your server keeps winning, you can earn pips. You can earn pips for your server, and then every season, well, that would be kind of less work because then they don't have to come up with all these crazy ass achievements all the time. Every time your server wins, you gain pips, and when your server doesn't win, you gain less pips or something, and then whoever gets the most pips by the end of the season wins. Nah, not fuck pips. Pips are amazing. They are amazing. I don't know. It could be done in a similar way to PvP, I guess.
You should stop objectifying pips.
Why?
Because that's exploitive behavior.
Oh. Have I offended any pipkins? People I identify as pips. Well, here I'll ask a stupid question. Hey, Twitch chat, if you identify as a pip, type Kappa in the chat. There we go. Let's see how many Kappas we get.
Oh boy, here we go.
Oh, yeah. And changing servers as well. I mean, I guess that is a problem to a certain extent.
Yeah, probably. And paying people to change servers. I don't know. I think that's all fun.
Yeah.
Because, like, some of my most memorable experiences of, like, playing competitive sports in high school was whenever, like, our fucking coaches would literally, like, bribe other students to come over and play from us from, like, other high schools. I was like, wow, this is actually pretty fucking cool that you can literally just buy people. And so...
I almost think that kind of the espionage element. I actually kind of like.
I love it.
I think it's amazing. It makes it so much more real. The fact that you've got these people who are going over to other servers and spying on people. The only problem is that you can't do anything about it. I mean, in real life, if you detect a spy, you can actually deal with the spy.
Oh yeah, you
but
just go fucking punch him in the nose.
Exactly, but in Guild Wars 2, I mean, you can kind of you can disconnect from them as much as possible, but they can still kind of stalk you and feed information back. Yeah, exactly like EVE Online. Yeah, and yeah, but that's amazing. You know, that's good. I think EVE's system is very cool if you have enough time to run an extra life. Wait, you want you?
What the hell is this?
It's drama, I think.
The Suck It Love song that they wrote or something.
Oh, there you go. Okay, that was 25 minutes before that came up.
Suck It Love?
It's the song that some guy wrote. Yeah.
After all the drama.
Yeah.
World vs. World trolling is unfortunate as well, actually. That is annoying.
In what regard?
Well, you know when they just build they put loads of...
they siege cap?
Yeah, exactly.
I love that.
Why?
This is fucking great. Like, trolling people is awesome. Like, it's just, I don't know, I like it.
But to a certain extent, surely you should be able to do something about it. It's
yeah, be able to just, like, fucking delete it after a certain period of time or something. Like, I don't know, having despawn, I just think it's funny. Like, just walking, like, over a hill and seeing 300 flame rams just in the middle of nowhere. Like, it's just, I think it's funny. It's probably because I'm just fucking hateful and evil, but whatever.
Oh, look.
That's fine.
Perry, I sexually identify as a pip. People say that a person being a pip is impossible, and I'm fucking retarded, but I don't care. I'm beautiful. From now on, I want you guys to call me MMR and respect my right to kill from above and kill needlessly. If you can't accept me, you're a pipophobe and need to check your rank privilege. Thank you for being so understanding. That was fast and very good as well.
Yeah, I'm a pipophobe. I'm scared of pips.
I mean, let's get this over with. I'll tell you what you can learn from the Suck at Love incident. Don't hack. It's not going to work out well for you. Unless you don't get caught. In which case, it's only a matter of time.
Don't make a video saying you didn't hack when you did hack.
Basically, if you want to learn how to do every possible thing wrong in the situation, like before they even got into that situation, like don't hack, don't fucking do dumb shit like that. Like,
here's the bottom line. I actually, I like the work that Suck It Love has done. I enjoy their music. I enjoy the content that they create. And I think that they were very good at doing what they did in the community. And I actually kind of feel, I feel bad for Stacy, the sister, because apparently it seems like anyway, and maybe I'm wrong, but it seems like she didn't really have an idea of what her brother was doing. She got banned along with her brother. I don't know whether it was an IP ban or what the deal was there, but they both got banned, or maybe the IP itself got banned. And so she makes a video where she's pissed off, which it would, kind of a knee-jerk reaction in my opinion. But I've been there. I've certainly had those knee-jerk reactions where I've been pissed at ArenaNet for XYZ. But then her brother comes in at the end. He knows that, I don't know that it was a Winter's Day hack necessarily, but at some point he hacked and jumped 29 waypoints in 20 seconds or whatever Gail Gray had said on the forums. So at some point he did something he shouldn't have done. Then you don't go in a video and say, hey, I didn't hack. What the fuck, ArenaNet? Why are you banning innocent players? You're not innocent. And that just, it looks bad, right? You make a video complaining about something you actually did and you weren't innocent in the situation. So it just sucks. It sucks that for them, sucks that you made a video about it. You shouldn't be botting or hacking or any of that stuff anyway. But if you do it and you get caught, you should expect to be banned. I mean, it's the way it works in games.
That goes for, like, I've done a lot of dumb shit. Some of you look at me and my beautiful face and you would say, how has Brazil ever done anything stupid? But, like, I won't go into any detail, but, like, I got expelled from high school 2 times. I don't think there are a lot of people that can claim that badge. But I don't think, not in my memory at least, do I recall ever fucking doing anything stupid and then trying to pretend I didn't do it by trying to guilt the other person involved. In that case being ArenaNet. Like, I mean, try to resolve the issue behind the scenes if you think you can get away with it, I guess. But don't fucking publicly come out and try to play like guilt trip, wah wah, I'm sad, this is unjust. And then don't just not expect people like Chris Cleary to literally just fucking slam their hammer down on you, because that's what he fucking does. That's literally all he does on Twitter. Like, and he has a YouTube video with like 80 million views of him like perma-banning a guy.
Yeah.
What did you think was going to happen? And then after he did that, you fucking called him a liar, and then Gail Gray, like Guild Wars 2's fucking mom, like posts on the forum, like it's specifically what you did, and then you make the video private. Like,
Yeah. Not good.
that's not how, if you're going to do stuff wrong and you're going to like take that risk, believe me, I'm aware of taking risks to do things wrong. It's nothing new to me. Like, trying to like guilt other people when you know it's just stupid. Like, you have fucking an empty scrotum that just flaps in the wind. I'm sorry. Like, there's nothing
What?
inside of it.
Yeah, maybe this
Anyways.
confirms that. Maybe it's all a massive conspiracy to get views to Card's channel. Maybe he is Zach or something.
No, Card isn't Zach.
How do you know?
Because I know Card.
Do you know Zach though?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
I've seen Zach and I've seen Card, and they're not the same people.
Oh,
Card can play guitar.
Wow.
Okay.
Shots fired.
yeah. There's a
Harsh.
quote: "An empty scrotum flapping in the wind." We're getting off to a good start with the quotes, but yeah. Okay, there's the drama done. No more drama. Let's see. What should we talk about now? I
You
think we
didn't
should-
want to talk about D&T getting kicked out of raid testing?
that already happened.
Oh, sorry, the drama's over.
Yeah, that was a while ago. Now we just have to wait for the next guild to get kicked out of raid testing. Maybe another guild will sell its secrets for copious amounts of in-game currency to another. Who knows? That actually sounds like something that could happen. Actually, I guess it would be incredibly
have you
easy
seen-
for ArenaNet to find out. Actually,
It's kind of funny, but have you seen how much people are selling the raids for?
Oh, yeah.
yeah, it's a lot of money. It's amazing. I should
A
start
lot of
doing
money.
that.
Eternal Sabbatha, 900 gold. Eternal Gorsafal, 600 gold.
Wow.
How can they guarantee you're going to get Eternal?
You don't die. Like, you basically have to just go into the fight and, like, do everything possible for you not to die.
Yeah, just go full nomads.
Mm-hmm.
Now, that sounds easy, but I know a lot of people who would not be able to do that.
There are people that literally, like, every time, like, if you're the person buying and you fuck it up, they'll charge you more every single attempt that you fuck it up. Yeah. But people still do it. People are like, I want my Eternal title. It means so much to me. Let me have Eternal.
First
I have
of
to prove
all-
how good I am.
This is kind of silly. With as little as my group kind of has been raiding, and with the holidays and all the breaks that we've had, I mean, as soon as we kill Sabbatha without dying, we have Eternal. Like, it's not that difficult, to be honest.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. It's not that difficult.
Inks is the worst player in the game. He can do it.
It's confirmed.
That's right. I mean, I don't know. We're 2 out of 3. Like, as soon as we kill Sabbatha and not die,
Yeah.
which will be in an attempt or two,
Yeah.
then we'll have Eternal already. Like,
Yeah.
it's just not, I don't know. It doesn't seem that difficult that you'd want to pay 900 gold for that or more. Like, if you got to pay 900, 600, and whatever the hell they charge for Veil Guardian. I mean, it just seems like a lot of wasted gold for something that's not that difficult.
Just imagine how much money King can make. 5 slots, 5 sales on Veil Guardian. That's some serious value.
Not allowed to die to the beam.
Yeah.
Oh, God. There are some good memes that come out of Europe.
I underestimate how terrible people are, I guess.
Kill.
Believe me, I know Inks like shits on himself sometime, and he's like, "I'm really bad at this game" or whatever. Like, I'm just gonna say, like, I've seen people at this game, like they were so fucking bad. Like, I don't know how they tie their shoes. Like,
They don't, bro. Velcro.
like there was a guy that I so there was a guy I tutored. I was a tutor for 4 years, and he was a guy I tutored a while back, and he wanted to start playing Guild Wars 2 because he like heard about it or whatever. And so like I logged in to play with him one night, and he was like running around. He couldn't figure out how to type in chat. His inventory, like when he finally figured out how to type in chat with me like typing in chat, like telling him how to do it, like he was just running around like with a naked character, and I was like, I'm just thinking like what's happening, and he'd like try to fight something and he'd just die. And then like after 2 hours he asked me like why his armor was broken or whatever, and he like tried to put on new armor, but he couldn't figure out how to open his inventory, and like all of his inventory was full, and like he couldn't figure out how to repair. Like I was just like, how the fuck, how? And like I just like he just like logged off or whatever, and I was like, there are probably people like after that experience my eyes were just opened, this like whole other fucking world. And like I don't know, there are people out there that probably have no interest in doing anything other than like running around through the open world and like occasionally like gathering a node, and they'll just do that for like half an hour.
I mean, don't get me wrong. My wife is that kind of player. She is as casual as you could possibly get.
Yeah.
She plays. She doesn't do PvP. She doesn't do World vs. World. She doesn't give a shit about fractals, dungeons, or raids. She just takes her characters and she likes to run around and do the hearts and do the events, and she plays in the open PvE world. You know, that's all she does. But if I really made her sit down and learn her class and play enough, I am positive I could get her to kill the raid bosses. It's just a matter of time investment in one thing. We're having the drive and interest to actually want to do that. And it's not for everybody. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying it is for everybody. But if you really want the Eternal title, if that's something you're really interested in, then I feel like those players could put in enough time and not spend 600, 800, 900, whatever, however much gold it costs. My point is getting Eternal is not necessarily like the most difficult thing to do in the game.
Sure.
No. And that's why I think it should have been you have to do the whole raid instance without dying. Even once.
Right, that's what I thought Eternal was, actually.
Yeah, well, again, that's what you would expect, isn't it? To do all the bosses in a row without dying.
In a row without dying.
I don't know. I've come close to that, but I'm sure Brazil, you've done that, right?
We've talked with we've talked with DeRoyer about this too, where I think it's fine, it's okay to have the way it currently is, but also have another achievement where it's do everything in a row, and that provides a different title.
Yeah, just
like that should have given Eternal, and the other one should have given Can't Be Beaten or something. I don't know.
Eternaler.
What the fuck?
Eternaler. Yeah, I don't know, but
yeah.
Oh.
I don't know, something.
Hey
Whatever.
everyone, who are these guys, please? I just started Guild Wars 2 1 month ago. We're role players. This is a role play stream.
Who said that? Jodo Twitch.
Yes.
My name is Soda Poppin. I'm joined by Dantain and Kriparian.
get crit.
Yes.
How good is Guild Wars 2? Turns out it's pretty good. There we go. I play Hearthstone now.
Inks is a casual.
No,
casual.
don't. Whoever said that? Don't play Hearthstone. Fuck you.
Kriparian does.
Oh, fuck him.
How do you not know that?
Jesus Christ. I don't care about
That's
Kriparian.
like his main game, isn't it?
Like he like I don't even know how to care about him. Like he can't even care about wearing shirts that don't have holes in them. And like fuck, Jesus Christ, whatever. I don't know, that's enough of that.
Yes, Brazil is an exploiter.
Oh.
He's one of the most well documented exploiters. Oh, it's another thing about I don't understand how people fall for. Oh, actually no, this is just an email hack thing. But you know all those kind of really stupid mails you get, and they say, "Hey, you can get some
Yeah.
free gems. Why not go to this website?" How does anyone ever fall for that shit? Seriously, I don't know. And you get an email. Oh, your account's been hacked. We're gonna need you to give us your password. Is this what? I don't understand. Why would anyone do that?
Mm.
I don't know.
Yeah. What do you think is the future of raiding there, Brazil? Is it going to be harder, easier, or the same?
I think
Well,
it's
a better question would be, what do you think the roadmap looks like for the next two wings
um
as well?
time, like when they're gonna come out.
Yeah.
I hope soon. In fact, I think soon.
How has it been 2 months since Heart of Thorns came out? 3?
It was October.
I don't know.
October.
It was
It's
October.
October?
Yeah, so it's
What is it now?
Kind of
It's-
it's coming up to 3, isn't it? Right?
It's coming up to 3 months.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think 3 months will be a good time to release another raid wing. Why not?
I think
Okay.
it'll probably be like 4 or 5.
Really? No. I actually
I'm
don't
thinking
think so.
the end of February.
We'll see.
Really?
I don't.
You guys are
expect-
pessimistic. I'm kind of thinking. I'm kind of thinking
January's almost
very
over.
soon. What? It's only the 10th.
It's over. It's time to move on to the next month. It's over.
This
I
one
mean,
sucks.
Let's
go
face
on.
it. So the PvP season doesn't end till the end of January, right? Which means there's going to be a balance patch probably sometime after that, the 2 weeks after that or something like that, maybe. Brazil laughs. So I don't think we're going to see the next raid until mid to late February. The next raid wing, that is. Excuse me.
Huh.
Brazil thinks even later, but I mean, I don't know. I think the next wing could come mid to end of February.
Because in my personal theory of Guild Wars 2, the raid wings are already kind of done. They're already ready to be kind of packaged up and released. I'd hope so. Otherwise, they really didn't do anything for the expansion, did they, Ellie Eagle?
Yeah.
You know, so I'm kind of expecting that they're just waiting for the opportune moment to release it. So I was thinking in the next kind of 2 or 3 weeks they would release the next raid wing. 'Cause, I
we haven't heard anything about it.
yeah, but ArenaNet does play the cards pretty close to the chest because they don't like to disappoint people. They've had a bad experience with that.
Do you really want...
I mean, I don't like to disappoint people either, but it's a consequence of, I don't know.
Do you really want to see the next raid wing before a balance patch?
Yeah,
I
why
wouldn't
not?
care.
I don't think it makes any difference. I mean, maybe one day they'll realize, hang on, we actually need to split this. But then again, probably not. It's too confusing for the new players, Kappa. But no, I don't think there'll be a problem because I can't think of anything that would earth-shatteringly destroy PvE if they changed it for the sake of PvP. Because I mean, if you look at the top guilds, even if they removed Chrono, they could even if they just removed Mesmer from the game, they go, right, Mesmer is too good in PvP. We've just removed it from the game as to not be confusing for the players. They go, why can't I play Mesmer in PvP anymore? They removed it. You could still beat the raids. It would just be a lot harder. And I guess some people wouldn't be able to do it. But they're not going to do anything that drastic. I think it's going to be little tweaks. It's going to be little tweaks, slow little tweaks, and that's not going to completely destroy the PvE meta. And even if they do, the people they'll break out their calculators. They'll type into their spreadsheets and they'll figure out what's best. And it won't take that long, and everything will return to equilibrium. It'll be beautiful. What?
I don't know. I mean, like, balance patches, come out, and, like, I don't know. Like, balance patches aren't something I'm worried about. They're not something that, like, I lose sleep over. Like, they're gonna come out, stuff's gonna change, whatever. Like, I'm gonna get mad just like everyone else. I'm gonna throw my hands in the air and say, ah, for like 10 seconds, and then it'll be over, and I'll just keep fucking playing the game. And so, Like,
I
whatever.
don't know. I tend to like the balance patches just because it usually, not always, but it usually changes up some form of the meta or the way that people are playing. Sometimes it opens up a new build that just didn't work before, or whatever the case is. Group compositions that didn't really gel quite as well before. Maybe you don't need to take 6 warriors into the raid.
Sure. Oh, well, I mean, I'm pretty sure Tempest is higher damage than Berserker.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you think? On what? In which conditions?
Everyone,
Really?
probably.
Okay. That's interesting.
I've been hearing more and more people say that, so take
It,
that for
it,
what it's worth.
Yeah, I mean, Particle, the dirty exploiter, he does 31k DPS on Veil Guardian with Tempest.
Who
So-
who does?
Yeah. I mean, I was hitting stuff similar to that on Berserker.
Maybe
Maybe
it's-
just casually get 30k burns.
Yeah, but when they nerf burning, things will change.
If they, I mean, like, I really thought for a while they were going to just nerf burning, like just flat out nerf burning, and they didn't do that. So, like, I really don't think they're going to do anything to Berserker. Like, I don't think they need to. I don't think, like...
You don't think they're going to change the way a longbow works?
I don't think there's a point. Like, if you make it all... What they would realistically do, if they're going to do something, they'd make it like one big fire field and make it pulse like 2 burns per pulse or whatever. And, like, probably change the frequency of the pulse, maybe? I don't know. But, like... If they don't do that, if they keep everything the same, just make it one fire field, that's like gonna wreck the damage. Like it'll be so much worse. And I mean, then you like just basically eliminate the class at that point. I mean, I'd probably still play it a little bit because I really like how it works. I think it's fun. Like I didn't really enjoy Berserker until I started playing a Condi build. Just because it's like different than how I've always played it, but I don't know.
I think that burning could maybe see a nerf. I just hope that if that happens, and actually it might not even happen, but
Yeah.
if it does happen, if they do nerf burning, I hope it's slight. I don't want them to take a hatchet to burning because there's just bad news all around. It needs a very slight nerf, and then I think that Warrior's bow needs to be changed a little bit. Not huge, not something drastic that just kills the class, that kills the entire way that it plays, but that balances it a little more. Because right now, not balanced. Just isn't.
No.
So,
yeah.
and Warriors aren't the only ones that need little tweaks here and there. There's lots of classes that do, but Chronos probably need a little bit of balance.
Chronoman's just broken. Like it honestly is.
Turns out quickness is quite effective.
Yeah.
And actually Alacrity as well. Alacrity is the real MVP, I think. Alacrity's insane.
The funny thing about Chronomancer is it just like by default fills up like I don't even like I don't know how to even explain it really. Like it tanks and it like just like buffs everyone for free. Like I mean you can I guess maybe you could make that argument by having like a fucking like a tank healer that like fills 2 roles at the same time. But like it's weird because you can take like DPS druids that occasionally heal, and you can just have a Chronomancer who is in like commander's armor, who has a little bit of toughness, but also has offensive stats and boon duration. And like you have permanent quickness, like more than like so much quickness, like permanent doesn't even describe it correctly. And then you have like alacrity. Alacrity like probably at least doubles Berserker's damage, and like quickness probably increases like Revenant's damage by like at least 50%. And like you just have like stuff like that. Like Chronomancer it's in a different realm of reality as far as like how good it is concerned. Like it might as well, like a spaceship may as well just like flown in and dropped it off. I was like, here you guys go. This is some technology that you just don't have, and you're not ready for it. Like I don't know. I don't even know how to describe it. It's so good. Like I think Chronomancer is undeniably the best class in the game. Uh, I think it just is because of what it's capable of. Like I guess if you're like running around in the open world, just killing stuff and trying to move around or whatever, just get to one place. Like maybe it's not the best at that, but it's so good. It's stupid. It's like having 15 people in a raid instead of 10.
Yep. 10 chrono raid. That would just be too much quickness.
Yep.
Yeah. What would you do to it though? Would you? I think maybe the best way to do it will be mechanics. In the next raid wing, say you have a boss that just okay. Let's take the extreme example. Every time you get quickness, you actually get slowed instead, or something. Or all boons are conditions, but all conditions are boons. So you have to apply boons to the boss or something. I don't even know. Something like
something like that happened, I probably wouldn't raid anymore because that happened in fractals, and I don't do fractals anymore because it's punishing me for playing the game correctly. Like there's such thing as like having to do mechanics or whatever, like having to stop doing DPS to jump up a platform to kill a cannon so everyone doesn't die. Like that's fine. But as soon as it's just like passive aggressive slight towards the mentality of some players, like as soon as it turns into that and it's like not even concealed well, like I'm done with it and I'm ready to like never even give it thought again. Like if raids turn into like a bunch of like anal developers who have some like disgusting hatred towards the meta because it like polluted their game that they made and they want to do everything possible to like pretend that it's real and like shit on the people that do it and like make the approach so obvious, like fuck that. Like I just like I'll make a video about it and I'll express my distaste and I won't raid anymore. Whatever, I'll do something else. I'll just AFK for 2 hours longer than I already do.
Well, what would you do then? Would you just reduce the durations of all the quickness, or reduce some of its
Absolutely.
capacity
Like,
to do that?
reduce like the base values at least, or change how it scales or something. Like I mean, I'm pretty sure that they took out, like, I know they at least took Minstrel's amulets out of PvP. I don't know if Commanders are still in there or whatever. But, like, they took Minstrels out because it was literally, like, tanky and boon duration, and it made everything broken. And that's, like, I mean, you can get boon duration from other places, like Revenant. You get 50% from that. That's ridiculous. Like, you can always have that on while doing max damage on a Revenant. It's like not even hard to do. And so that's like Chronomancers are starting with like 50% base basically. And as long as they can just like put down wells and use Signet of Inspiration and like cast Time Warp, like they don't, that's basically all you have to do. Like, I don't know. They can stack uses.
I think the first step is separating PvE from PvP. And I know that that's probably not something ArenaNet really wants to look at. They've said before they don't want to like balance those two types because it creates a number of problems. But by not separating it, it's creating a whole separate host of problems because the game right now really is balanced around PvP most of the time. And so that just doesn't, it creates problems in PvE that are kind of, unforeseen a lot of the times.
Yeah, it's too confusing. I think that's kind of a problem though, because I mean, say if they buff Thief in PvP, then oh no, say they buff Thief to make it better in PvE, even though it's not actually that bad. It's just not as good as other things. Then suddenly it's kind of too broken in PvP, so they can't do that. I mean, and then what if they buffed say if they buffed Warrior in PvP, because Warrior is somewhat underperforming in PvP right now. Imagine how insane it would be in PvE.
Exactly. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, instead
Yeah.
of like 5 fire fields, they make it 10 fire fields. It's like, oh, okay, now I can put 4 fire fields in a hitbox instead of 2. That problem solved. But it's I think that all of that has to do with just how the game types kind of function, like the metas and stuff right now. Like in PvE, it's straightforward to a degree, and you like slowly figure stuff out over time. You slowly optimize it, but the content like pretty much always stays the same. And PvP, it's just different. Like you have a meta, and then you find out like what counters stuff, and then it like shifts to that, and then you figure out like what counters that, and then it shifts around. And so like Warrior's damage is like strong as shit, and Thief has incredible burst potential, but Thief isn't going to kill anything that bunkers and does damage, like basically everything in PvP from what I understand. And like I could promise you, like I could take my PvE warrior build into PvP, exactly. And like I could probably kill anyone in about 3 seconds, assuming that they would literally stand still and not move and not do anything to me. Like if I hit them with pin down and put down like fire fields on them and they just sit there and take it, like they're gonna die. There's no hope for them. But no one does that. No one is ever going to do that in PvP unless it's the first time they've played a video game and like they've never been on the internet before. Like that's the only reality in which that's gonna happen.
Time
So,
for Brazil
I
to
don't know.
tank MMR. Here we go.
Yeah. Like I don't know.
And you know what else is needs a bit of help? Needs a bit of help. It's Stronghold. That's what needs help. No, I love Stronghold. In fact, I like it
Yeah,
way
me too.
way more than Conquest. In fact, I find
Conquest
it
is stupid.
I was told that I was told Teapot we're in the minority
yeah. I
for
think
loving
yeah.
Stronghold. I love Stronghold, I really do, but it also needs some help. It needs some work.
It does, especially seeing is I think that's actually kind of a big thing that you can't gain a better team rank through Stronghold. I mean, you literally can't do anything. I mean, okay, fine, have a separate ladder for it. That's fair enough. Have a separate ranking system for
Sure.
teams who play Stronghold, fine. But to not have one at all, the whole point of the PvP system was so you can climb up, and so it's somewhat more pointless than doing Conquest. I mean, yeah, you still get your pips. You can still get pips doing Stronghold, but you can't get your amazing bragging rights for being the best teams, unfortunately. And I don't know. I would have just a separate ladder for it for teams. Why not? And you queue up for one, or maybe you queue up for both, and you ladder up on whichever map type you get. And I also want more maps. I mean, it's kind of yes, give me everything, ArenaNet. Yes, work. You are my slaves. But still, it would be nice to have another conquest.
How many maps?
Another conquest map. Ellie giggle. No, another. How many maps? I don't know. I just add another one for now.
Just one,
I mean,
just so 2 maps in total, or
well, I mean,
I'd really like
for
to see
now.
3 in total.
They don't have
but
to go crazy right now.
For now, I'd be happy with an extra one. But
Yeah. What would you have on the map though? Different. Would you have something to replace heroes on the other
Make it
one?
a circle instead of a
don't know.
line.
Dominion
everybody,
Yeah.
yeah.
should not go toward pip win-loss. If map is not used in Pro League tournament, should not affect progression. That's the point. I actually don't agree with that. The pip system is not about being super skilled or anything. The pip system is just for a sense of progression while you play PvP. It's not directly linked to your skill. It's an indicator to a certain extent, but as long as you grind and you have a 51% win rate, you'll eventually get to the highest rank. It's not it's just a vague indication of skill. It's not a direct indication. The only way to have a true indication of your skill would just say, here's your MMR. This is a number that shows you how good you are at the game. And then we rank you by that. There you go. For example, a leaderboard. Which...
Does Guild Wars 2 have those?
Yeah.
They do. It's full of teams like
Car Crash.
wrist deep anal penetration and stuff.
Oh, I don't know how that gets through. I really don't. That's
Did your stream
some.
die, or is it getting a source
I
button?
think we got some source. No, we don't. No, it's fine. The stream's fine.
Okay.
0 frames dropped. My internet's behaving today.
Refreshing.
Tour says learn how to play Berserker. I'm hurting the team. I'll upload some footage and you can see how bad it's me hurting the team.
Actually, I don't think there's any
joking.
more on the leaderboard, but my favorite was like twitch.tv/Fantaram. That was the team name. Or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you think? Oh, I don't know. Yeah, but it's well known Brazil is a fucking horrible player at this game. I've seen him try to raid. Jesus Christ.
I mean, I watched my Berserker footage from the other day, and I literally look like a robot because as soon as something fucking comes up, I'm using it. I was impressed. I think that's probably like, I don't know. Not that Berserker's hard or anything. It's just I don't know. I like pushing the same thing.
Pixel hero.
Fast. Yeah.
Conquest is nice because as a thief, I can roleplay Leonardo DiCaprio.
Hey, that's actually pretty nice.
Plus 1 point, Pixel hero.
If you are a faggot and like to hug conquest capture points, are for you. That doesn't. I know what you mean, but that doesn't really make sense. I mean, that's just I know. I don't blame people for playing the meta, how the game goes. It's just I don't really like it. The best way to play Conquest right now is just to bunker up and just be as annoying as possible and prevent the enemy team from getting points. That's how it is.
It's like Yu-Gi-Oh! Oh no, I mentioned Yu-Gi-Oh! Dude.
Oh no, you've done well actually. That I'll just do an uptime. Well, I can actually read it off OBS, but I'll do an uptime anyway.
I was over Christmas break. I was in like a Target or something, and they had a whole shelf full of like Pokemon/Yu-Gi-Oh cards, and all these kids/ young adults were all gathered around the Yu-Gi-Oh area. I was like, these are Brazil's people. I should have taken a picture and sent it to you. I was like, your people are here.
I got a comment again, like, oh my god. So this isn't gonna make any sense to anyone probably, but like I still get comments about this from like Yu-Gi-Oh decks that I uploaded like a year ago at this point. And they're like, Fiendish Chain negates Card D's effect. And like people still comment and tell me that. And I'm like, no, it doesn't. Because Fiendish Chain negates effects on the field. And Card D tributes itself as cost. And even if an effect is negated, you can still pay its cost regardless. So you tribute it, it goes to the graveyard, and when it's in the graveyard, its effect activates. Fiendish Chain doesn't negate in the graveyard, it negates on field. And like, anyways, people still try to tell me that I'm wrong about that. And I'm like, you got the ruling! But it's nice. So.
I kind of a little bit derailed there.
A little bit. Show us your little D.
I had something to say, and now I've forgotten it.
I feel like I need to buy like a Yu-Gi-Oh card just so I can have it for this show, so I can
just put it on there.
like put it on the screen.
I'll
like
give you this
Brazil.
common breakthrough skill.
There you go. That's all I need to be one of the pros.
The problem is that everyone that plays the game thinks that being an Emerald is the same as playing an ESL Pro League, where everyone plays 2 Mez, 2 Rev, etc. You can play anything in solo queue. I think there are certain things that, unless you're way better than the people you go up against, you're going to have a hard time playing in solo queue. But I mean, I kind of agree with you. To a certain extent, say if MMR had been reset, yeah, you could play anything you wanted if you were way better than the people you're up against. But at the end of the day, there is a more effective strategy of playing. And can you really blame people for trying to play what is considered the most effective strategy in PvP? It's not a problem. That, you know, I mean, who doesn't do that? I mean, in raids, you know, oh yeah, we're just not going to use a Chronomancer. Oh, we're going to go without a healer. Ooh, you can do it, but it's not going to go well, you know? I mean,
every single competitive aspect of every video game since the beginning of time, like the people who aren't even remotely as close to being as good at the game as the pro players or self-proclaimed top players, like they try to emulate those people, like people that like enjoyed dungeons or whatever, like tried to, wear Berserker's armor and farm COF all day because that was the best thing to do. And people that play PvP, they're going to do that shit because it's the best thing to do. And they just like, I don't know, people just emulate like good players, I guess, like the top tier or whatever. Like that's not even like video games. Again, here we go. But like when fucking Patrick Hoban was playing Burning Abyss, I was like, yeah, that looks like a fun deck. I want to play Burning Abyss. Like it's
Yeah,
in
absolutely.
card games, in video games, in sports, like everything. Like if you're playing football and you see fucking this team do that shit, you think, oh, maybe that'll be cool. And like 50-year-old coach goes and has an affair with the swim team coach and then gets disgraced and sent out of the school. And then, anyways, that's maybe that didn't happen in my high school, but...
Oh, okay, there we go. Story time with Brazil.
Uh,
So they're role-playing being a top player. That's exactly what they do. But that's fine, you know?
yeah,
That's all I do.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, if you want to try and be the best, even if you aren't, that's fine. You know, you gotta have something to work towards.
Sure.
That's not really a problem. That's, someone talked about Courtyard, and yes, Courtyard is quite annoying.
Courtyard sucks.
It's because you can't separate queue for it, and there are some teams that go around saying, yep, we're going to queue and wait till we get Courtyard and just stomp everyone with our amazing Courtyard team. But there you go, there's another game mode. You've got a deathmatch mode. Why not just have that as a separate thing, like Stronghold?
Yeah.
It's completely different. It's the map that doesn't have any capping on it. It's its own little special thing. I mean, why not just have that on its own and make new maps for that?
Should be.
Yeah, because it doesn't fit with Conquest, does it? It's not. It isn't a Conquest map. There's no other way of putting it. Yeah, team deathmatch. Exactly, Cyan. Exactly. It's awesome. Then you can make who can make the most disgustingly overpowered team fight composition. That'll be pretty funny. Yeah, if people camp the spawn, that is a good point. But then again, maybe you make it so you can't do that.
Yeah, that's about rebalancing the map itself.
Yeah, I hate Courtyard. I think it's poorly designed. I think it's stupid. Like, I don't know why it queues for like team games. Like, I'd rather play on like the midpoint of Skyhammer only than like, and just have like one person randomly get teleported up to the cannon every 5 minutes. Like, that would be more fun than doing shit on Courtyard. Courtyard's stupid.
It is how it is right now.
Some people like Courtyard, though.
I don't even want it to ever
be
be
separated.
good. Like, I don't even, like, that's partly why I don't do Mystic builds, just because I hate that map.
Well, we don't play it on Courtyard all the time now.
Oh,
it's gonna be far worse than that, Brazil. It's gonna be random maps. So it could be Skyhammer.
I'm fine with that.
Yeah,
But
Skyhammer actually worked quite well. No one actually got knocked off. It was close, but it didn't quite happen. It feels bad, man. The dream was nearly real. Someone did kill someone with a full damage trait, though, and that was pretty good. See, I told you. It's meta defining, man. It defines new meta. Falling damage trait. 2v2. Oh, yeah, Meltendriel. Well done for bringing that up, because I think, would that not be cool? Have a 2v2, 3v3 kind of style modes? Or maybe, no, 1v1 would be stupid. Never mind. No, that would be, no. 1v1 would be complete dance game. But 2v2, now we're talking. 3v3 as well. Yeah. Let's get guild halls, mystic builds, how to break your bank.
2v2 is a fun game type. I don't know. Like Halo 3, I used to queue 2v2s. It was awesome. It's fun. I like 2v2s.
Oh, we should definitely talk about Scribe, because Scribe is almost actually a funny meme in the community at this point because of how stupid it is. I don't know why they thought this was a good idea. How much does a chair cost? Does anyone know how much a chair costs? I don't know off the top of my head.
A whole page worth of materials.
Yeah, it's a lot.
I don't know.
The most punishing profession.
I was super
ever.
excited about and I know some people aren't going to care, but I was super excited about decorating the guild hall and making these decorations and having several people be able to do whatever. They wanted to do in there. Build jumping puzzles, which is a very popular thing that people seem to be doing. But it's very cost prohibitive. You really have to have one, maybe two people in your guild who levels up scribing and have the guild support them by giving them materials and such. And players just aren't going to do that. Not all players, but a good number of players are going to say, well, this thing is worth 1 gold. Why would I give you whatever? Like, we had someone in our guild give Mazda, who's our scribe, like 100 gold worth of materials in the shards or whatever they're called.
That's slivers.
Slivers, right. Most people would just sell it, and here I now have 100 extra gold in my pocket.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, asking people to donate and all that stuff, and even getting some people to donate to the guild hall can be kind of difficult, right? People are going to want gold to buy whatever shiny thing comes out on the gem store or into the trading post or whatever the case is, rather than just, here, let me donate 100 gold to you.
Sure. But I think...
And the materials list are kind of, for a number of things, the materials lists are extremely complicated as well. Like, you need so many damn materials to make a chair or whatever.
You could do it very simply, like 100 pieces of like each of the wood logs, or like it doesn't like fucking like 25 wood logs, whatever. It's a chair. Who gives a shit? Like, why does it have to be expensive? Like, are people literally just gonna build like 50,000 chairs and just take up all the space with chairs? Like, why, seriously, people want to do other shit.
Yeah.
The other thing too is with the holidays, the festivals and stuff that come around, they add a lot of cool looking decorations, like the interactable ice block that like turns into the reindeer. Pretty cool, but it's a bitch to make, and you only have so much time. Like, Winter's Day is going on for quite a while, but like Halloween or whatever, you have like basically a month or less in order to collect enough of these materials or make enough money or gold in the game in order to donate to your guild in order to make these things. And I understand it's supposed to be like this community project, but if you don't belong to a large guild, it's going to be super difficult for you.
Yeah.
And I think they're missing a big opportunity here for players to really invest, more time and stuff in, how many people would waste time decorating if it was just a better system?
I mean,
scribing and decorating as well, right?
It's probably like all people would do. You could just have fun doing that shit. Like,
Yeah.
Sure.
That's why Minecraft is like the most popular game of all time, because people like to build shit. They like to decorate and like fuck around. Like, that's a whole like community like fun aspect thing. And like they made it literally like I don't understand. I have no idea any of the logic that went into like making scribe and decorations and all of that stuff. I don't understand it at all.
Yeah. It's a material and gold sink.
I don't know why it is like.
Shouldn't be. It shouldn't be.
Well,
there should be stuff at the upper top tiers that are expensive to make, but then those things have to be grandiose. They have to be gigantic. They have to be super special. But for the middle and basic stuff, you can't bleed people all the way up to try and make the giant musical instrument or whatever the hell it is. Like, it's okay that there's some top tier stuff that's difficult to make. That should be that way. But if I got to spend, one of my map completion things to make a globe that's freaking tiny, are you kidding me?
Oh my god!
Oh, I saw that. That was funny.
Like,
and there's a lot of them
gift
that
of
are
exploration or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To do half a map completion for it. Half.
Faces.
You like map completion, don't you, Brazil? You love map completion. It's your favorite thing to do in the game. Wow, you've danced the game pretty hardly. You can't take it anymore. It's too much.
So someone made a penis that shoots semen on Reddit. I seen that.
I saw that.
I'm amazed
the
it
two
took that
pumpkins. It took that long.
Yeah.
You know why it took that long? Because it probably cost 20,000 gold to make.
Yeah. No kidding.
It's actually probably not that far from the truth, honestly.
But
Yeah.
there's a lot of cool stuff you can do with Guildhall. Jumping puzzles you can make, and decorations, and you can make your Guildhall look really cool. It's just going to cost you and your guild all of your resources almost.
Yeah. I mean,
And that's going to be hard to convince people to do. It's going to be hard.
Very.
to convince
Maybe one reason, one justification for it is they didn't want everyone to just do it instantly. I mean,
And I understand that.
There
I
are
do.
numerous players that have acquired quite a lot of wealth, and especially the massive guilds. I mean, maybe for the massive guilds, this isn't really a problem. I mean, they've got a lot of members who are probably invested in the guilds. They want to make their guild hall the best guild hall. But, I don't know. The guild halls are designed around having a relatively large guild anyway. You're not going to get anything done if there's only... Say it's just a group of friends, 10 friends. You're not going to get anything done. Well... It's going to take you ages if you try to.
Did they not say like, oh, that's not going to be a problem. If you're just a small guild, like it's okay. You can have a guild hall too. Like do all the stuff.
And you do have a guild hall, but it's just not. It's
can't-
empty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like I don't know, whatever.
Oh, and something else that's fun. How much fun is this? So the guild that I play with most is we hit 40 a couple days ago finally. And we can now make the guild weapons, like the shimmering or I forget what the other one's called. In order to make those weapons, after you buy the recipe, you need to have the old guild weapons, like the old Guildcom weapons that you buy for doing the weekly missions. So, for example, the sword, you need to go and buy the guild Spatha. It's called Spatha.
Yeah.
You need to buy the old guild sword to then make that shimmering sword. And if you want the other sword, then you got to buy it again. And I'm sure there's a number of people out there who bought those weapons a long time ago just to like complete that. It's not even a collection, which it probably should have been. But you now have to like double buy them in order to make those weapons. It's just a pain in the butt.
Yeah. There was a question that we kind of already covered, but there was one component that we didn't cover. It was about what are our PvE predictions, and we talked about raids a little bit. How there will be more raids. Oh yeah, guys. And we did talk about worldless as well. But what we didn't talk about? It's Brazil's favorite topic. It's fractals.
They're gonna nerf it because the rewards are too good.
Too much
Really?
ascended. I don't know. I saw a Reddit post where the ascended drops are actually pretty good at high tiers, I think.
Are they?
Yeah.
You know what's
So-
not good at high tiers?
Fun?
Like, I mean, I could go back to college and become an engineer and go make lots of money, but it's not going to be fun. Like, I don't care. I don't have any desire to do that. I have the capacity to do it. But, like, I mean, I have the skill. I have the ability to go do high-level fractals. And I don't waste my time because I don't enjoy it. Like, if it feels like I'm literally, like, pulling my toenails off while I'm playing the game, I don't enjoy that. I'm not going to do it. Like, if fractals gave you a legendary weapon every month, like, I still wouldn't do them. Like, I just don't care.
Right.
Like, it's not fun. I don't enjoy it. Like, it's whatever.
I think it's pretty cool. Reward-wise for myself, and since I've been back, I haven't done any fractals. I just haven't had time. But apparently the aetherized weapons can drop from those chests.
Yeah.
So that, for me, that's pretty cool because those are skins that I just would never otherwise get. So I'd like to see more of that stuff. But the inherent problem still is that at high levels, you just do 3 swamps for the daily or whatever it is, and there's no reason to do any of the other fractals, really.
And there never has been. Like, it's always been roll swamp.
Well,
in
but
some
I
capacity.
could have sworn that Colin or somebody else had said that they were working on a system to make those other fractals more, to incentivize you to do those other fractals more.
You know how to do that? You add a gold reward at the end of each one and make the harder ones like Cliffside higher gold reward and make Swamp worth like 10 silver. Or 0 silver. Because I promise you, even if it was 10 silver, people would still farm it.
Wow.
Because you can AFK Bluemonger and you can fight Mossman on top of the roof. And before it was on top of the roof, it was like I don't even know how many Mossman exploits there have been at this point. There's been like on the roof, in the water, under the porch, like pull him out of the room, like get the
Wow.
wolves to spawn on top of the house, in the tree, like I mean Mossman is AFK and Bluemonger is AFK, so people will literally just if Swamp gave 10 silver, people would just farm Swamp. Like whatever. But like I can promise you, if Cliffside gave 5 gold, people probably wouldn't farm Cliffside.
Is it that much? Wow. I haven't done it for a while. Is it that stressful to do? That frustrating to deal with?
Like at higher levels, it is.
At higher
It
levels, it's
absolutely
just
is.
a pain in the butt.
Yeah.
It really is. I hate Cliffside. I hate it.
I can imagine the one where the enemies blow up is a lot of fun on Cliffside.
Yeah.
That's just another classic example, and we've talked about this on TeaTime before. It's literally like a couple of maybe just one developer, somebody that literally has like a hate boner for the meta, and it's just very obvious and just whatever, it's stupid. So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
They
Fractals
could...
continue. Like, I enjoy Fractals. I know Brazil hates them. I enjoy Fractals for what they... I really enjoyed them more when, like, I'm leveling up through each one and I have to play each Fractal. I guess I could just, like, keep running 50 until I get to 50 or whatever, but I actually went and did each Fractal, and I actually enjoyed that process. But once you get to the top, then you just want to get your daily done as quickly as possible, and you just do the easiest thing possible in order to do that. So, yeah. It's a shame, because I actually started to enjoy Fractals finally after however many years they've been out, you know?
I think yeah, it's such a shame really, because Fractals is the extensible PvE content, right? I mean, they can just add stuff to
it's
that.
the in-game dungeon content. Or
Well,
what I said it was.
Sure.
And then
But
I said this as soon as I think like the tea time after they said this, like I said, fractals are like expandable and new. I literally said it's just words to put on a website so people think it's way cooler than it is. And that's exactly what it is. Like they don't ever have to add new fractals. They don't ever have to make the rewards good or anything. All they have to do is say you can get a legendary back piece and it's infinitely scaling and infinitely expandable. And they just have to leave it at that and convince people that the potential is there, and they can literally never do anything to it. And they can always just fall back on, well, we can do something to it in the future. And, like, I don't know.
Well, they have a Fractal team now, don't they? Or is that part of the
I have
team?
no idea.
I thought they said that they had, like, a
They honestly
team or something
probably
on that now.
do in some capacity, and they're probably all
They didn't
idiots.
before, but I thought like recently that was something like with Heart of Thorns launch or something. That's something they were looking to do. Now we know
think I
this
remember
year.
reading that.
Yeah. So we know this year is all about polish to the game, which it needs. Like let's, straight up honestly, the game needs some polish. The ArenaNet loves to iterate, so we know iteration is coming on a lot of things, but the game needs some polish since Heart of Thorns came out. Fractals definitely being one of those things. So I don't know. I'm probably like, blindly hoping for the best, but I think that Fractals will see another update, maybe 2 this year, that will further improve them and make them better. Hopefully make them more enjoyable for, for players.
Yeah, definitely. And yeah, hopefully they can figure out a way to make things more challenging without making them annoying, that won't trigger people who like stacking in corners and actually using boons and stuff.
Yeah, like Meltandril makes an interesting point. ANET has mostly been trying to find the right content for their game. Like I've said this before, and I've said this like several times before. Like, I really loved like the Flame and Frost story. I really loved the Molten Facility dungeon. I thought Molten Facility was incredible in almost every conceivable way. Like, the environment was beautiful. It was a cave that was dark and a wonderful shade of blue, and it had like cool crystals and fire and shit, and it was awesome. It was amazing. And it was in the game for like a month or whatever. It had like the jetpack reward. Like, it had rewards. What is this content? Like
Samu jetpack.
PvE dungeon content that's rewarding and fun and like incredibly well designed. Like, I didn't even mind the like time gating stuff at the beginning. Like, I could deal with that. Like, I love the Molten Facility dungeon, and then they took it out of the game, and like a year and a half, 2 years later, they added part of it back in as a fractal, or 2 fractals, I guess. And like, it's not the fun part. Like, it's not even the fun part of it. Like, the fun part starts after the weapons test. Like, the beginning of it is just time-gated, unfun stuff, mostly. But, like, I don't know. Like, I don't know why they would go through the trouble of designing all of that stuff and, like, putting a lot of effort into it. You could clearly tell that a lot of effort was spent on it. Like, maybe it wasn't. Maybe I'm just have been deceived by ArenaNet. But,
Illuminati
like,
confirmed.
it was great. I love that dungeon. I love the first living story. Like, I liked really everything about it. And I don't know, like, whatever. I would rather run along a straight path and interact with 50 fence posts than I would watch a cutscene where Erstagolkin gets impaled with a face that's like...
It's terrible.
And, like, seriously, like, I don't know. Like, as far as I'm concerned, like, the Flame and Frost storyline was better than all of the story content from Heart of Thorns. Disagree with me, that's fine.
Yeah.
But, like,
Press F
whatever.
to pay respects. Press F. Press F to pay respects to Flame and Frost.
yeah, pretty much.
This year will be interesting, and then once this year is coming close to it, and we're at the beginning of the year, I know I'm saying that, but this year should be pretty interesting. What I would like to see happen is on the PvE side of things, and I know as soon as I say dungeons, that's going to get a chuckle from most people, but
Yep.
I'd like to see dungeons reworked. I'd like to see fractals reworked, and I'd like to see raids kind of continue where they're going right now. The ultimate goal for myself would be to have some sort of teaching progression system where you start with dungeons and then you move to fractals and then you move to raids, so that players learn as they go through those instances what's expected of you by the time you get to raids. In order to do so, though, you need to teach the things that are happening in raids. You need to teach those on lower levels throughout, the other things, fractals and dungeons. But in order for that to happen, dungeons would need to see quite a bit of reworking done to it, and I just don't think that that's ever going to happen, unfortunately. In the PvE open world, scaling needs to be added. Better scaling needs to be added to the new maps, because when we get a new expansion, those maps are going to become fairly devoid of players for the most part, and those meta events that happen are going to become nearly impossible to complete. So that is going to need some kind of polish and rework as well. And actually, to be quite honest, I would rather see some more of the original Guild Wars 2 PvE dynamic events and systems be added with some of the Heart of Thorns meta events. I don't think that all of the dynamic events in a zone should be geared just towards the meta event. I think there should be some that just don't, I just think there should be some separate opposite things. Those new maps are all about that meta event. Everything you do is geared towards that meta event, and I'd rather have some kind of mixing there rather than just to have it all or nothing for that open world kind of stuff.
Yeah,
For structured PvP, I want to see another stronghold map. I want to see, obviously we're seeing seasons reworked already, which is good. I want to see Courtyard ripped out of where it is now and have its own system for those who like that. And then World vs. World, it needs just blow it the hell up and rebuild it altogether, I guess, because it needs a big rework.
Oh. I think the point about the meta events is very interesting. I mean, do you not think that they'll be kind of added to the world event train that just kind of runs all day anyway? Eventually,
probably, maybe,
because Dragon Stand, you get a lot of crap for doing Dragon Stand. You know, you get upwards of probably 50 champion bags by doing the whole thing. It's basically no effort. You can semi AFK through it. I mean, arguably with stuff like the Garant, you actually have to be paying attention to do it. But since it got nerfed, I don't know. I haven't done it that much, but I haven't failed since since they changed the scaling on it. So it seems like you don't really need to be that organized to beat any of the map events now. So yeah,
I think that in 6 months from now, and I know that's a while, but I think 6 months from now will be really telling. Depending on what comes out with Living World, depending on how much polish we see to different parts of the game, I think 6 months from now is going to be rather telling. By that point, a good deal of players will have the rewards they want from those meta events, whether they're working on a collection or whatever they're trying to get out of those. I think 6 months from now, most players will have that stuff. And so they'll be less interested in doing those meta events, and we'll see, I guess, how well it works at that point.
I guess that's also dependent on how many people keep buying the expansion, how many new players keep coming in, which that's also interesting because, call me crazy, but I have this feeling that someone that's new to the game is going to get to level 80 pretty casually and have fun with that, and then they go into the fucking jungle and see people running around with 163 mastery points, and after they have tier 3 gliding, seeing how stupid of a grind it is, and then they just quit playing. I could absolutely see that happening, because ArenaNet, for some reason, they like to tell us there's no grind, and they like to just put the most obvious grind ever seen into their game.
But it was a clever idea though, to hide the grind behind doing things. Yes, I will do my events, and then you slowly
as soon as you go to the vendor,
there, right?
As soon as you go to the vendor, it's not hidden anymore.
Yeah, it's incredibly obvious if you look at it closely with all the map currency you need and stuff like that. But I mean, maybe if you're not really looking at that, you can just casually enjoy the game and just
maybe
play
if you
through
just do this, and you don't ever see Colin smile over here.
He's grinning at you.
Or how does he go? I don't know. I don't know how to make his face.
Should we try and get a picture on the stream?
I have one. Let me find it. Let me go dig it up.
Oh, wait. Is it the disturbing one that you made?
Yeah, I have a couple, I guess. We can put them both on.
Okay.
I'll put them in Twitch chat.
Yeah. That everyone can enjoy.
Yeah.
Okay. Alright. Here we go, guys. Be ready to praise Lord Colin. Praise Mr. Colin for good calcium.
For good calcium.
Yeah, there we go. Look at that. Look at that smile. Who can resist a man like that? You'd want to just give him your credit card and you get gems in exchange for all those things they're putting in the gem store.
And there's a lot.
Yeah.
So...
Oh, games got to make money. How else are they going to make more expansions?
Yeah,
they do
need it.
I hate video games. I hate how they've evolved. I hate what they've become. Just in general, every game, as soon as it's like college, people figured out, oh shit, we can make money off of this, and so now it literally kills you and bleeds you dry to go to college. At least in America, Europe's probably different, whatever. But
nope.
Yeah, I don't have much experience with Europe. But video games, you want to play Star Wars Battlefront, and the game literally costs $200 to buy everything in it. It's like, it's a $60 game, but if you want to really get the full experience, buy this extra DLC for $50 and buy this shit. And like League of Legends is literally like buy these skins that are really cool
Ah,
and amazing.
League of Legends
And
is a good model. League of Legends is a good model. Yeah.
you know how much money people spend on League of Legends each year?
Copious
Sorry,
amounts, but
patient.
I personally think they have a good model there.
Okay. What about mobile games? Like Candy Crush.
Wow.
You know what?
You're-
Okay, let me baby
you're
rage
asking,
here for a
you're
minute.
asking for pain.
You know what I hate? Because I enjoyed the video game Plants vs. Zombies. But then they
Yes.
made this piece of shit, Plants vs. Zombies 2. What is this? EA, what have you... Why? Well, EA, well, you know, I'm not really surprised, but the game is retarded. Yeah, no, I'm not even going to go there. Fuck you,
It's-
EA.
Video game, it doesn't matter if you hold like Guild Wars 2 and this like pedestal and like whatever. Like video games are an industry and they're designed to make money. They're not designed about fun anymore. Fun is not the primary goal. Like I'm sure there are still noble game developers out there. Like there are people like that at ArenaNet. I can promise you. I can point them out personally. Like Crystal Reed and like Grouch and probably Hugh, like those are people that like care about the game being fun. Like Robert Rhoda, he cared about the game being fun. That doesn't matter because there are people at like NC Soft, like high up and whatever, and probably in ArenaNet. And there's bureaucracy where fun has to take a back seat to making money, and that's in every video game ever now in the past
Yeah.
like however many years. And that's what video games are about. That's why there's like shit in the gym store like every single week, and that's why we don't get an expansion until 3 years later.
I remember,
So-
yeah. I do remember when you bought an expansion pack, it was as big as the base game, if not bigger. I remember
Yes.
those days.
Absolutely.
Those were good times. Very good times.
Was it? Was it?
I don't know.
I guess for WoW it was pretty close. I guess landmass wise, not really, but dungeon wise and raid wise and stuff, it was for the first expansion.
Certainly in a lot of the older RTS games, I would play.
Oh
in
yeah, absolutely.
the
Yeah.
absolutely massive expansions.
RTS.
Yeah, for MMOs, it's obviously incredibly difficult. I mean, especially WoW really screwed themselves with that one. And actually, Guild Wars 2 did as well. WoW's map is absolutely huge. The
Oh,
original
the
one.
original. Yeah.
Yeah. The vanilla WoW is really big, and I think Guild Wars 2 it's big in a different way because in WoW there's kind of I guess in WoW there's a lot of stuff, a lot of quests, but in Guild Wars 2 you do have. There is a more of a sense of the world is kind of moving around and stuff, and it's a lot more detailed because of engine restrictions and stuff. Yeah, I mean,
I think too. I think that the next expansion we get for Guild Wars 2 has to have a lot more maps. Next time around, 4 maps isn't going to fly because the way that a lot of us thought that the Heart of Thorns maps were going to work didn't actually turn out to work the way a number of us thought. We thought every map's going to have 3 biomes and it's going to be incredible, but that's not actually true when you get into some of the other maps. Auric Basin is like a perfect example of that. A good map, but it doesn't have 3 biomes, right? So, and I realized like this for this first expansion, they're laying the groundwork, they're getting things set up where they want it to be. And you know, I can swallow that, but for the next expansion, gotta have more than 4 maps. Gotta be much bigger, you know.
I'm not sure. Wow, do you mean 4 maps at the start? Because I'm expecting at least another map in Living.
That's a good point. So 5 maps. When
Yeah.
we're said and done with Hot, we'll probably have about 5, maybe, and this is really pushing it, maybe 6.
Well,
But
I think that's
I don't
interesting.
know. I want more than that for the next expansion.
Yeah,
I wouldn't even like give a shit if it was literally like one enormous map, like huge map, just one, and they like opened up areas of it over time, like they did with Silver Waste. Like I thought Dry Top. I think it was Dry Top. Yeah, Dry Top.
Dry Top.
Dry Top was cool. Like it came into the game. There was stuff to do, and they added more stuff to it, and like That was cool. I thought that was really cool. I thought it was really clever, and I really liked it. And I still think Dry Top is a good map. But like the problem is like you could put meta event bosses that like get you to go back and do shit or whatever. But like people are going to gravitate to whichever map like makes the most money and is like the most farmable, and they'll pop in to do a world boss and then it'll just be abandoned. Like you're not gonna get past that. Like that's gonna happen.
Yeah.
And like you're always gonna have like some amount of the population that's like doing map completion or like they just want to do the map or whatever for whatever reason. But that's I don't think that's the majority. I don't think you can even really safely assume that's the majority. I mean, maybe I'm wrong, but I don't know. Like, I mean, even if it's just one big map and there's like all kinds of stuff going on, like I guess there are still going to be parts of the map that just like aren't populated, and people will just like zerg around and try to do other stuff, and it might be a mess. I don't know, but
Mm-hmm.
I'd rather just have one big map where like everyone is in, opposed to like I guess there's the other problem of like how many players can
Right. How many
actually be
players
in a
can that map actually support, right?
So yeah, that's another thing, but I don't know, whatever.
Uh,
I would like to see more than 3 maps or how four maps.
I guess saying more play space is more
Yeah.
appropriate. I
Yeah.
want more play space next time. And I definitely want a longer, more fleshed out story next time.
Yes, please.
And I think ArenaNet knows. I mean, they're not blind to the fact of what our feedback was on that with this story. I mean, I guess we'll see what Living World brings this year, but next time around, gotta be a longer, fully fleshed out story.
unless they drastically change the way this is set up, okay? So if they rephrased it in such a way that they say, well, actually, Heart of Thorns is the living story, but you have to pay for it to get it. So, for example, actually no, that would suck. That would be stupid. Everyone would hate that. But I don't know if you had if people could see far enough, then it would be good. You know what I mean? If you could say, oh yeah, we're going to slowly release the maps and it's going to document the Pact pushing through Verdant Brink and then you meet the Exalted and then all the other crap happens in the story, that would be a better experience where they could really refine it and polish it up more as they slowly release stuff. But the thing is, then you have to pay money up front for it and it's kind of, people wouldn't like that.
It's like a big pre-order.
Yeah. Exactly. No.
And you've already paid
And
for the
Total
expansion.
Biscuit says we can't pre-order games.
Well, I mean, he's kind of right though,
Yeah, I know.
in that respect. Yeah, because the game might suck. I mean, you can have confidence.
Yeah.
You can have good confidence that it won't suck, but it can't be sure. And
Honestly, if the expansion was like adding raids and adding dungeons and maybe fractals, and then the like story content and the maps got added slowly, I'd pay for that. Like,
yeah,
that'd be fine.
I'm curious why people want open world PvP maps, not world versus world. Why do people want that?
People just like the idea of feeling good about themselves and running around and just stomping noobs for free. Honestly,
World versus world.
yeah. Like,
That's why I'm just not sure I understand. Like in some games, I understand this want or need for this open world PvP experience.
it's
because they
about
don't
showing off.
because they don't have world versus world, but we have world versus world. So I'm not sure why. First of all, I think that maybe I'm wrong on this, but I think that the majority of Guild Wars 2 players probably don't want that anyway. I think if they want that, they go play some other game. Because World vs. World is blob versus blob. I guess it depends what server you're on.
Yeah.
And World vs. World is currently dead. I understand that part. Like World vs. World, I mean, it needs to be fixed. I don't know how else to say it, but...
If you could have a world versus world map, it's like, I don't know, just designed around like roaming and shit. Like, I mean,
People who play the game just for PvE, I can promise you, do not want to be ganked over and over again.
Absolutely.
That might be fun for you guys, but I can promise you they will just quit playing. They either will never go to that map, or they will just quit playing.
Yeah, that's the point, though. And that's kind of the beauty of World vs. World. That's the point. Right?
Yeah. I don't want to play Blade and Soul. Like, I don't want to play, like, Asian jerk-off game. Like, it's what it is. I'm not interested in it. Like, whatever.
They can separate.
Yeah.
I mean, they could do something like that, but someone's saying that Rad is saying that they could separate PvEers from PvPers in an instance or something. Like maybe there's and if they had neighborhoods, I would say that's something they could do. The PvP neighborhood, right, where it's open world, stab each other in the face if you want to. Then sure, but they didn't go with a neighborhood system, unfortunately. So in order to add that in, they would have to have. And SwordSword did this, which was a gigantic failure. Other games have done it too, but they would have to have a specific map or zone that is just for when you enter the map, you're turned on PvP, and you can kill each other and do whatever. A free-for-all or race versus race versus race, whatever. I don't know.
Racism in Guild Wars 2. Inks has officially endorsed this. Kill all the rats. Kill them all.
Jeez.
Yeah, Chars and humans unite, destroy all the other races.
I just don't know. Like, I understand that people want that and some people really like that. I'm just not sure that it fits in Guild Wars 2 outside of World vs. World.
I guess they could add dueling, as has been suggested.
I mean, players want
multiple
dueling.
times.
Players do want dueling.
I don't know why, though. I mean, who cares? And duels will never end with the current meta anyway. They'll just be killing each other.
It's about showing off. It's literally about people who think they're good, pretending to be good.
Personally, I don't. As long as there's a way for me to turn off, like auto turn off dueling, like
go into passive mode.
Like you can't run up and like duel me, duel me, duel me. As long as I can turn that off, I could care less. Like give everybody dueling if they want it. If I can turn it off.
What do you guys think about WoW style 1v1/2v2/3v3 arenas in Guild Wars? It's funny you should say that actually, because we actually talked about that.
Yeah, we do. I think it works. I think people would enjoy it.
It could work. It could be another game mode they could add. And obviously 1v1. I mean, the best tournament there is this random build tournament endorsed by Colin himself. You should definitely participate and watch that. I think the
Brazil, do you know fun? Ever heard about that foreign content?
shit.
Believe it or not, yes, I have experienced what you would call having fun before. That's one of many things I've experienced in life. And there's also this like interesting concept called having fun at the expense of other people. So like that show that manifests in many different ways. And I'm not terribly interested in like this is my perspective. This is not a perspective that a lot of people will share, because like if I'm just running through a map that's like open world, like kill each other or whatever, like there are going to be people that are going to say, oh my god, that's Brazil from YouTube, let's all just gank him, or let's go spam him and challenge him, and let's like call him.
That would definitely happen to Wooden Potatoes.
Yeah, exactly. Like that would happen to Wooden Potatoes. That happened to me. That happened to the Inks.
Yeah, anybody? Yeah, as soon as you could recognize somebody's name.
Yeah,
that's that fucking MightyTeapot guy. Kill him.
And so that's not something that necessarily bothers me. It's annoying. Like it's like I could play the game and not have that, or I could play the game and have that. I'd pick the not have that because it's just annoying, and like that's that aspect of it. And then
think too, like, what happens when there's some kind of like drama with somebody who's a content creator? Not to pick on Nike, but can you imagine the people trying to just kill Nike everywhere he goes?
Yeah.
Or
Nemesis,
soda popping, Nemesis. Like, it would happen, you know what I mean?
Well, the big problem for Soda is that the game is basically unplayable for him anyway, because he has a massive army of people just coming around. They use the map chat system to, fill it with completely, hilariously, offensive comments all over his screen. They just kill everything before he can even get close to it and get any XP or credit from it. It's actually pretty funny.
And like this is
Nemesis. Yeah.
This is a problem that not a whole lot of people are going to have.
Sure.
Because Like,
That's-
I mean, I think it's
Am-
valid because that's a problem we would have. Whatever.
Lang is right. Streamer, YouTuber, first world problems. Yeah,
Yeah,
you're absolutely right on that.
but I mean, it's not even really that. It's just that there are going to be people that just want to do map completion and just want to do hard quests. And there's going to be that like poor little kid who doesn't know how to repair his armor or like get stuff out of his inventory, and he'll just get farmed over and over. And you're going to have someone thinking this is hilarious, this is the funniest thing, and they'll do that for like 30 minutes or an hour. And then like that other guy is just gonna not play the game anymore. Like he'll just say this is stupid, whatever. Like if the correct way to do that is to implement an environment specifically for that, like, oh, I don't know, PvP, or oh, I don't know, world versus world. Like that's how you do something like that, and we have that. If you want to kill people, go do those game modes. If you want to play PvE and kill other things, oh, I don't know, say an environment, go do that.
Yeah.
Wow, what is this new
Wow.
concept?
The
Wow.
other thing too
Wow.
is like we can have these 1v1s, these 2v2s, etc. in your guild halls, but there needs to be a better way to integrate that so that players can find those matches or something. Because right now you would have to have like I would have to say, Teapot, come over in 2v2, me and my friend or something. So like they have like this new arena thing for your guild hall, which is cool, but there needs to be a way to like pull random people in, some kind of LFG tool or something that would, like, you have two people queued as a team and it pulls you into that or something. I don't know the exact solution there, but there are like, custom arenas and stuff where you can set this up. There just needs to be like an automated system behind it somehow in order to like facilitate that.
Exactly.
A rank system for these two. Yeah, I mean,
Who's the best?
we won't even go
duelist?
into the whole leaderboard things, leaderboards, but yeah.
Yeah. It is as Brazil says. There are going to be... Well, yeah. The problem with that is that there are going to be a group of people who are going to go around and ruin everybody else's fun. And then people will be angry. Think of the forum posts. Think of the Reddit posts. And then Guild Wars 2
That would happen like as soon as they even like breathed a whisper about that happening. Like Reddit would explode like it does every 10 minutes, and the official forums would explode like it does every 10 minutes, and it would persist, and then ArenaNet would like implement it and then finally take it out of the game because that's what they do. And so whatever.
People are always angry.
Yeah.
It's true.
People are always angry, actually.
We need a Goldshire RPG.
Ugh. No, you don't want that. You don't want to. No one deserves that. That is.
I got
sheer horror.
banned once in SWOTOR for disturbing people's RPG experience.
For pulling bosses into a town and having them...
No, it was a 24-hour ban because I had a giant speeder that was like the size of a boat, and they were role-playing in a bar, and I kept driving over them in my speeder. Like, you weren't hurting them or killing them, but I was just, like, blocking them from having a conversation and drinks and stuff. And because I was trolling the role players, I got a 24-hour ban.
Wow. Impressive.
In SWOTOR. That was a long time ago, but...
It's all
At
coming
the time,
out
I thought it
now.
was funny, but you know what? I was impeding other
Yeah.
people's fun. So they were like, you can't do
Inks.
that.
A dirty, evil human being disturbing the innocent role players, just going about
Yeah.
their business.
At the time, I thought it was really funny, but then I got a 24-hour ban, and I was like, it's a little less funny now.
Yeah.
Pay the cost to activate the effect. Tap your lands.
Modromoth kind of gave me a roleplay tour of Divinity's Reach, and apparently there's some really fucked up roleplay that happens.
There is.
Yeah.
Your fun enters the game tapped.
Dr. Nick, it was an RP PvP server. Yeah. So that's why. It was an RP PvP server. So
Yeah.
I was disrespecting the server rules, I guess.
Good.
Or you want your
Breaking the
Eve.
law. Breaking the law.
Yeah. Or you wanted your Eve experience in Guild Wars 2. I don't know. Do you really want that? I don't want that. I actually want to be able to have a life, outside of playing Guild Wars 2. I don't want to just be staring at spreadsheets all day. Well, I mean, some people
There are
do
some
that.
people that want to do that.
Yeah, but one of them isn't me. They can go play EVE Online for that. I don't know. I guess, well, there are a bunch of people in Guild Wars 2 who do that. They figure out the best way to make money, and they get absolutely fucking rich.
I used to do that. I used to get rich off the trading post.
Yeah.
I'd make like 300 gold a day, whatever.
Yeah, I when I was crafting Incinerator, I did that, and I just completely burned out after a few weeks. I just wanted to kill
Yep.
myself.
I burned out after strength runes because I messed it up so hard.
Oh,
I just lost interest after that.
yeah, it's pretty intense to be constantly trying to make money, but it is
I'm terrible at it.
incredibly effective. Well, it's the best way to do it, really, if you can get away with it. Oh yeah. Spreadsheets, math and avoid. Yeah, but it looks like the math and avoid has come true. When you just look at Veil Guardian, if it's made out of tissue paper, the numbers are real. It's all true. Is there anything we haven't talked about in the future for Guild Wars 2? We kind of covered everything.
Kind of exhausted it.
Yeah, I think we may well have done. And what perfect timing, because we're coming up to 1:55. So I guess if you guys have any questions, we'll answer them for about 5 minutes. So do so if you have any. Otherwise, just spam dank memes in chat, and then we'll piss off and host someone else. See how well, you can invade their chat. That's pretty funny, actually. And then they'll assume they've been botted, and then they'll say they're going to report me. That happened. Yeah, that was entertaining. Let's see. Are there any good? Why no hats indoors? No kappa. Why? What? I don't know. Brazil.
Why hats indoors?
Yeah, it's because Brazil needs to role play as his icon. I don't know
You
about
mean
you,
like?
Inks, though.
Hold on, I'm confused. No hats indoors is in like the rule that like guys wearing hats should take off their hats.
Why
Oh,
hats?
oh,
Yes.
okay.
Why are we
hats?
wearing hats?
Yeah, because
No kappa.
I mean, there are a couple of reasons. Whenever I was in the Boy Scouts a long time ago, and they were really anal about wearing your hat indoors because men aren't supposed to wear hats indoors. That's disrespectful. That made me want to wear 3 hats indoors at the same time. So, I don't know. Whatever. I don't care. I like this hat. My friend made it for me. I also didn't wash my hair this morning because, like, I haven't really slept since yesterday, and I woke up 5 minutes before tea time started, so I'd rather you guys see a hat than, like, stupid, messy hair. So there's insight into Brazil's life.
There you have it.
It's cold here.
Yeah.
And like 70% of the heat escapes your body from your head, apparently. Even though I'm wearing a t-shirt, so that doesn't really make any sense. But my head's warm. And I want to be like Brazil. There you go.
Oh.
That's the crux of it.
I mean, I'm not wearing a hat, so I can't really answer that question. But one day I might be, and then I will answer.
Oh. And because of this.
Oh. Oh.
Inks has his beard back.
I now have my beard back, so it's okay. It's all good.
Wow. Let's see. Do you think they might listen to some World vs. World requests about bringing the old Borderlands back? They'll probably bring them back. And they're supposed to be on a rotation anyway, right?
Right, yeah. They're supposed to go into a rotation.
Yeah. So they'll be back.
I feel like you should be robbing a bank right now.
Yeah, you could do that.
You do look like a criminal. You've been confirmed as ISIS. Yeah.
Oh,
I knew it.
Well, that would be bad. I don't want to be on a no-fly list.
Brazil uses his hair grease to cook up his bacon and scrambled eggs for breakfast.
Sure, why not?
What the hell?
I love this hat. It's warm.
Would the Heart of Thorns story be much better if specs and masteries were linked with where you are on the story and actually teaches you how to use said things but make it skippable part of the story? Yeah, definitely.
Yes.
I mean, if that were the case, I'd have every single elite specialization unlocked and I would have had fun playing the game. But neither of those things happened, so there's that.
Yeah. Kappa this, kappa that. Does it ever stop? When will this stuff stop being hilarious to you people? I mean, seriously, is there no originality left on this world? Are we all just monkey see, monkey do? I don't know about you guys, but I'm sick of every time I look up a game or a forum post, anything really, I have to scroll past like 50 of these. See, that's ironic.
It's interesting because I don't know if that's an actual complaint or if that's a
Oh
copy
no,
pasta.
no, it's a copy paste.
All right.
Fiesta.
It's one of those things that's like on the borderline. I'm not entirely
there
sure.
you go. There's another one.
What do you guys consider to be the hardest content such thing to do in Guild Wars 2 right now? Have fun during Conquest in PvP. Is the hardest thing to do.
I would agree with that.
But if we're being serious though, I guess raids are
raids
the hardest content. Oh, and obviously high level PvE is also PvP rather is the hardest thing you can do, but that's kind of it's a bit different, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
trying to win in PvP in general.
Yeah. The struggle.
Honestly, like both of those
The struggle.
That's the most difficult thing for me to do.
both of those are kind of the same thing, like high level PvP and high level PvE, because it's about execution. Like it's about very, very, very skillful execution. Like raid bosses, like killing Veil Guardian with 5 minutes left on the timer. You will not do that unless you have 10 people who are executing perfectly.
Right.
And like in high level PvP, like you just won't do well unless you are like watching very intently, like 3 parts of the screen at the same time, and like you're interrupting key abilities and like doing things as soon as it has to happen. Like it's fucking, it is literally the same thing. It is about execution. Like, yes, different things are happening. Yes, you're fighting an AI, and yes, in one, you're fighting another player. It's purely about execution, how well you can execute something.
Right.
It's the same.
What do you think's the hardest inks? Is it
Yeah,
raids?
I mean, I would agree. Raids. You can certainly make the argument that being a high level or a top pro player in structured PvP is the hardest thing you could do, playing against other players and simply being better than them. I mean, sure, that's difficult, but I guess it depends what you're looking for. Either being a pro player who constantly wins or is on a constantly winning team, or raiding. And those things are two totally different things. But yeah.
Let's sell Eternal to Bootspur for 1k gold. Good idea or bad idea? Bad idea, because I don't think he has 1k gold.
I don't think he cares about Eternal either.
Yeah.
Bootspur is in a really interesting position where he has like an incredible real life situation. So like Guild Wars 2 is probably the least of his worries.
He can simply purchase gems to do things
Yeah,
with his
it's
money.
interesting because Bootspur like worked really hard to achieve things in real life, I think, and like there's probably some amount of luck involved as well. For things to have fallen in place how they did, but there is definitely a lot of effort expended. Like you don't get to do what he does without having invested a lot of time. So I don't know. Yep. There's that.
Soloing some dungeons is harder than raids. Yeah, that's probably true.
I would probably agree with that.
Soloing raids is harder than that though.
Someone commented on one of my videos. And they said, is it possible to solo raids? I was like, no. Because they're in rage timers and because bosses literally have 20 times as much health as Lupicus. And he said, like, that's really stupid. Like, I hate playing the game with other people and I just prefer to do content alone. And I was like, they went on a big spiel about challenging group content for like a year. So, I don't know.
Has anyone other than King done a 5-man Veil Guardian? I see 6-man all the time. I don't know.
I'm not sure.
A successful 5-man. I don't know. I see people 6-man Veil Guardian pretty often.
I'm
Right.
waiting to see what King do with Gorseville and Sabbather, honestly. I think Gorseville will be the trickiest one, because Sabbather, the enraged timer, is a little bit more lenient, but I'll be interested to see what's the lowest amount of people, for example, that they can do a no updraft Gorseville with. Probably not that few, much less than 10, right? Maybe 9 or 8. Even I think 8 would be a bit of a. What do you think, Brazil? Do you think you can do a no updraft?
No,
Yeah, with 8, or do you need 9 or 10?
I have no idea.
I think it's definitely doable with 9. I don't know about 8. I'm not sure about 8. You would have to stack lots of 2 particular classes, but that also gets hard to do because you're losing 2 slots, and that's very important. So I'm not sure. You'd honestly I don't know. I'm not sure.
Would you rather have Brazil's beard, Teapot's hair, or Inks's hat? All 3. That's right.
Well, none of them died in the 5-man. Being down doesn't count as
Being
dying.
down. I got Eternal, and I was down at Sabbatha for the last 2 seconds of the fight, and I rallied off of her.
I did tell them to do this, and I kind of talked about this when Doro was on Tea Time, but I think it would be impressive if they did we survived the enraged timer on Veil Guardian for 15 minutes or something. That'd be kind of a fun challenge to do. Because they didn't
How
look
long
like
you
they
can
were
survive
dying
the
as
enraged timer.
such. They seemed to have enough healing to just keep going for a good amount of time. Because they were they enraged for about kind of 30 seconds a minute, maybe longer actually. I don't know.
I don't know either.
Obviously in Gorseville that's not possible because he just kills you. But whatever. Someone Photoshop it to have everyone, all of those things at once. Everyone in full nomads, yeah. Yeah.
Yep.
You gotta get it to the. Oh, well, I guess you could eventually get it there. That'd be pretty funny, actually. Someone do that. Someone do that and send me the video. What's the best way to level as a revenant? Tomes of knowledge. There we go.
What if you're a brand new player and you don't have any of those?
Just do map completion, honestly.
Just play through the game.
It's funny
Story.
because discovering places, go to all the cities and just get 100% completion on them. And then just go through one zone at a time and get 100% completion on it. Queensdale is really fun. All of the human zones I think are really fun to do. They're very scenic. They're pretty. I just think they're cool. Do 100% completion on Queensdale, and then do 100% completion on Kessex Hills, and then do 100% completion on Harathi hinterlands, and just go through that. And you'll get to level 80.
Yeah, it doesn't take too long.
Nope. That's when the real game starts, when you get to level 80.
When the game was new, and whenever I first started playing, I think it took me 3 or 4 days to get to level 80.
I don't even remember now. Yeah.
Because I remember this very well. I was still in college, and I was taking an English class, and there was a girl who I was talking to, and she got me to play the game. And then there was another girl that I was hanging out with and friends with and stuff. And one weekend, it was a Friday after class, we were talking in the parking lot and whatever. And she was like, "So you should totally come over to my apartment tonight, and we'll hang out." And I said, "I really need to get to level 80 in Guild Wars 2 this weekend." And she was confused, and I knew what I was doing. I knew the impact of what I said. And she didn't talk to me after that, but I also that particular scenario is not of too much importance to me. So I actually have one that can top that. I have one that can top that.
Okay, here we go.
So I was a DJ for a while. That's something that not many people know. And I was this was my first year of college. And so on Friday nights or whatever, I would just mix music and DJ like in my dorm room, and people would come in and hang out and stuff. And so like it was fun. Like people would come in and talk and like request music. I'd play music and shit, and I'd make people mad because it was too loud. Like fun college stuff, whatever. And so like then like my roommate was a WoW player, and like I was playing League of Legends, and so like we had our door open one day, and like I'm sitting like playing League of Legends, and he's playing WoW, and like I'm on Skype with my friends and stuff, and these three girls come in wearing only t-shirts. And they said, "Oh, you're the DJ. You want to go like hang out or something?" And I turned and looked at all three of them, and I said, "I'm playing League of Legends. Can you fuck off?" And like all of my friends on Skype heard me, and my roommate just like turned around in his chair. His response was like, and his face was like that, and like all three of them were just like, okay, and then they just like left. They just turned around and left, and like I don't care, whatever.
That's awesome.
It's just like I have more stories like that. It's almost like it's more fun for me to do that and like get a reaction out of someone than it is, following and having the other result, which I think is fairly obvious. So
I think you're actually right there. I would definitely.
Yeah, I'd rather just like honestly troll somebody than.
That's actually better. Yeah. You got to get Saihan. You got to get your priorities right. You can't just. I mean, imagine if you'd lost that game because you had the go. That's what's up. What stances, weapons do you recommend for leveling as Revenant?
I'd probably recommend Jalis and Shiro.
Yeah, Jalis Shiro.
Jalis Shiro is really good.
I mean, what would you have? Would you have swords?
I'd probably take sword and like staff. I really like sword. Brazil is covering his asexuality. I can promise that's not the case. Because it's not like I don't have any amount of... That's a weird topic. That's a little...
this isn't Guild Wars 2.
Yeah, I don't know.
Maybe that's you can if you want. We're at the end of the show. Just go fucking crazy. I don't care.
That's a topic that I think I deviate a little bit from what you would consider like typical. I don't know. Deviation, I'll leave that up to your interpretation. So.
Wow, that's pretty funny. Yeah. Okay, I think that will bring us to...
I just saw your stream. You like made your picture.
Yeah, I don't know. What face?
What?
There you go.
Inks' face. Hold on, let me stop laughing so I can do this. Inks' I can't. I don't think I can. I don't think I can stop laughing.
Oh, I'm just...
Inks' face is just like... That was pretty good.
Oh, man.
Wait, is this some kind of point? Asexuals play Guild Wars 2 as well, but being asexual doesn't have anything to do with Guild Wars 2.
That has nothing to do with Guild Wars 2. That has
Oh my god. Bibao, you just triggered me, man. You actually just triggered me. Seriously, you just triggered me. By how can you... no, fuck it, I don't care. Right. Just, you should be ashamed of yourself, okay? Never mind. Yeah.
Wow. Teapot got triggered.
Yeah, I actually got triggered by that. I mean, who says that? Well, this guy, apparently. I don't know. Yeah. Anyway. Yeah, I was triggered. Anyway, we've come to the end of Tea Time. It was actually pretty good.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
with
but...
BS stories, I have people that can verify, like, both of those things. Like, I could probably, like... call the people in question and like get them on the stream and they would verify that actually happened. Like there are some that would be harder to verify because it was just me by myself, but I mean, like I'm not lying about that stuff.
Yeah.
Like that's something that people, I think a lot of people would consider like maybe almost shameful or like that they fucked up and it was like whatever, but like I don't care because I think it's funny.
Yeah, it's funny.
Oh, like I'm not gonna make something up like that.
Well, even if you did, it actually doesn't matter. As long as it's entertaining, I don't really care.
Exactly.
Uh, yeah, it doesn't matter. Okay, right. We should outroduce ourselves. That is what it's time for. And why don't you go first, Brazil? You're down there in the bottom left where you belong.
I'm Brazil. I like to lurk on Reddit because Reddit is for esteemed gentlefolk, and I am an esteemed gentlefolk. So if you want to find me on Reddit or on YouTube or on Twitter, you can search Brazil GW2.
There you go. What about you, Inks? You have returned to tea time.
I have returned. I guess we could talk about that a little bit. So I haven't done a video on anything like this. I may do one later that'll be more of a personal thing. But my tea time appearance is going to be a little sporadic for the next little while. And the reason for that is I need to go back to, for a couple months now, I've had some issues with the kidneys again. So I need to go back into dialysis treatment at least twice a week, but it might be 3 times a week. So those days where I have to go 3 times a week, that third day will fall on a Sunday. And it just so happens that the treatment kind of runs into tea time's time. So I will be missing some Sundays here and there. So, if I continue to be sporadic, that's the reason for it. Brazil, Teapot, several other people that I keep in contact with have known for a little while. I've had some health issues that I've been dealing with, and this is actually a good thing because now it's going to get taken care of and treated properly. So that's that. That being said, I'm still going to be doing videos. Next month, I should probably resume streaming again. I plan to hop back in that starting February. Videos, I've also been sick, my voice. So videos should start resuming like mid next week or so, depending on how Tuesday goes with whatever news we get. And you can find me on Twitter, YouTube, and Twitch at MMOinks.
I think I speak for all of Twitch chat here, and everyone here that we wish you the very best, Inks. Speedy recovery.
We wish you a Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. Happy
Yes.
New Year. Absolutely.
Thank you.
You'll be back to normal health in no time.
Yes.
I have to answer this. This is important. Brazil, what deck do you play in Yu-Gi-Oh? I play... My favorite deck is Burning Abyss. I really love Burning Abyss. I'll play Burning Abyss forever. I also like Exodia, and I also like Masked Heroes. And
there we go.
Get well, Inks. Since
Thank
I
you.
kindly took
Yes.
I kind of took your spotlight with
Yeah.
fucking Yu-Gi-Oh decks.
Get those dongers going. Give Inks your energy. Yeah. And then there's me. Cut the stream? No, we're not going to cut the stream. I have to endorse myself, so you all follow me first. Then we'll cut the stream. And of course, you see that follow button? I would say it's good for you. Oh, it's good for your personal development if you were to go ahead and press that. So you can keep up with more tea times. You have the wisest sages in the Guild Wars 2 community educate you with their amazing thoughts. Like this guy, for example. Look at him. Yeah.
Oh, the face. Wow.
And because I also stream quite a lot. Wow, there we go. You can catch up during the week for more memes. You can watch me, for example, fail at raiding, and sometimes Brazil's there as well. But probably won't be because of the server transfer cooldown fiesta. I guess you're going back to NA, right?
It's kind of fixed, but it also just breaks sometimes. So I don't know.
Oh, really?
Okay.
Like I logged in the other day and I was on a completely different server, and I was just like, okay, this is fine. And then I was able to transfer like twice in a row, and then it didn't work. And then I logged in and I was just on a different server again. So
Sucks.
weird.
Raiding Resident Sleeper, PvE Resident Sleeper, well, that's okay, because there's also tournaments and stuff. Well, a tournament anyway, which you all want. It's dueling. Random builds. Yeah, so you can follow for that as well. Just follow anyway. Even if you hate the stream, even if you
That's right.
actually hated the stream, just follow anyway. Just do it. Why not? and well, I have YouTube as well. You can click that. Links and stuff. You can see the tea time if you came in halfway. You can watch it on YouTube. And of course, you can find links to all of the tea time awesome people. And yeah, we'll see you next time, whenever, what we're doing. In the mists. I'll see you guys in the next video, and so on. And then